You're in the mayor's chair, right? What Keisha, right?
Is Keisha coming? She's supposed to, yeah.
Okay, then I can go back.
No, you're going to get my head down.
Check, check. Hello, hello, hello. Sound check, sound, hello, hello. Everybody can hear me. All right, thank you. We'll begin momentarily. Thank you.
I know this guy. All the way.
Good afternoon, everybody. If you would please take your seats and be clear of the cameras, that would be appreciated. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
So good afternoon. My name is Joe Brown, and I'm the brand new Street Transportation Director. I came from New York a few months ago. It is my privilege, my honor, for my first ceremony to be of somebody of so much esteem to the city of Phoenix. And to celebrate her life and legacy, Vernell Myers Coleman. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our Honorable Mayor, Kate Gallego.
Hello, I'm Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego. One of the highest honors that the city can bestow on anyone is a street naming, and we are here today to honor one of the people who made Phoenix the great city that it is today. I'm so glad to be here today with all of you to celebrate Vernell Myers Coleman, but particularly with Miss Cookie.
Good.
Vernell's daughter and I have been talking about today for quite a while, and we are so pleased that it is here. Miss Cookie worked with Valerie Churchwell, who led this project on the mayor's office team to make today possible and to make sure that we celebrate someone who has given so much to our community. Vernell was, for many people, the reason we had such a strong Juneteenth celebration in the city of Phoenix. So every June, we think of her and know that now that it is officially a city holiday, it probably would not have been possible without her leadership. Also want to recognize Vernell for being such a great leader in making sure we had stronger housing in the city of Phoenix and making sure residents were well represented. Whether it be the Tenants Council or the Matthew Henson Anti-Crime Committee, she was willing to show up and help us continue to invest and improve. She also served as a member of the board of the Phoenix Urban League and the City of Phoenix's own Housing Advisory Board. She was instrumental in helping organize St. Mary's Food Bank, the first food bank in the country. So really, yes. Her extended family member, Mike, corrected me. It is not the first one in the country, it is the first in the world. So, it really is incredible how one person could do so much, so many leadership roles, and still cook for the food bank every Wednesday. So want to thank her for her leadership at First Institutional Baptist and for fighting for our young people, being a great advocate for them. So many of the programs we have here today bear Miss Coleman's stamp. It is no doubt that she meets the criteria for a City of Phoenix ceremonial street sign. These signs recognize people of important local significance. In fact, we probably could name the whole neighborhood for her. There have been a lot of great partners, and many of you testified before the City Council or shared stories. Thank you to all of you. A key partner for me has been our amazing councilwoman for this area, Councilwoman Hodge Washington, who really wants to make sure the people who do the work in the City of Phoenix get recognized, that we celebrate our history and use it to inspire our future. So please welcome my great partner, Councilwoman Hodge Washington.
Thank you so much, Mayor. It is so exciting to see everyone out here today as we celebrate Vernell Myers Coleman. Vernell moved to the city, Matthew Henson Project, back in 1945. She was a community activist before the term was so popular. She was active in her community, using her influence and her talents to the benefit of the community. She truly lived these ideals. One of her most notable acknowledgments, as mentioned by the mayor, was the revival of the Juneteenth celebration here in Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix now of course celebrates it as a city holiday, but one of our first instances occurred in 1911 following a visit from Booker T. Washington, and we had smaller celebrations throughout the mid-1940s. And Vernell was very, very instrumental in making sure that our students understood what Juneteenth really meant, and not only the passion but the community organizing that came behind of it. In 1979, Vernell was presented with the first Willie L. Robinson Memorial Human Rights Awards. Did you hear that? Human Rights Award. For her efforts in finding housing for the poor, while also encouraging the youth to continue their education. Ms. Vernell, I say Ms. Vernell like I haven't had the pleasure to meet her, but Ms. Vernell had what I've read about her. She definitely was focused on making sure the individuals and our communities, she was very passionate about education because she recognized that education was one of the ways out of some of the generational poverty we had been seeing. And she also recognized in basic human rights, and she was, as mentioned, she was an advocate for housing. She was an advocate for the poor and encouraged the youth to continue education in a number of ways through scholarships. And the Vernell Coleman Youth Center just behind her is one of our community centers that are named, one of our many community centers, but one that's named in her honor. I have actually had the opportunity to work with some youths in that neighborhood in a number of areas, such as we had done kids voting, where we encouraged them to be engaged in the civic process from starting early. As well as educational, we focused on science and technology, engineering, mathematics, helping them learn those. So, and also not too far from here, Ms. Vernell also attended First Institutional Baptist Church, where she served on the Pastor's Aid Committee and helped raise money to pay off the debts of the church, to pay off the church deed. That was so important to her. It showed that you didn't have to have a lot in order to make a huge impact. She was constantly one that was given. As I was doing a little bit of research for this program, I came across some newspaper articles, and one I thought was very interesting is there was a black paper, and they kept track of the donations that people would make, the contributions they would make throughout the community, and her name popped up several times. And when you consider that, I presume she lived the ideals of to whom much is given, much is required. And she actually, even those that you don't have much is still required. You give what you can, you give up your talents, and she did that tremendously. It is my honor to be here. This is my first ceremonial street sign that I get to name, that I get to make the motion for, and it is absolutely an honor that it's in favor of Ms. Vernell Myers Coleman. For more than 40 years, she worked to improve the lives of the underserved in our community, and today we get to honor her hard work with a ceremonial sign. And I pray that the signage will be a testament and a reminder to everyone that anyone can make a difference in this community. So at this time, I get the honor of introducing Miss Cookie to speak a little bit about her mom. I also had the opportunity to spend some time with Miss Cookie as well. So I'm going to, at this time, introduce Cookie Coleman Miller, the daughter of Ms. Vernell Myers.
Bringing my brother. Bring everybody up.
Yeah.
Bring everybody up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let me find my little notes here. I want to thank everybody for attending this very special tribute to my mother. My heart is heavy today. It's been 34 years today since she left me, left her family, rather. And yesterday was 19 years for my husband, so it's like, you know, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm extremely proud and honored today. I'm overwhelmed as well. Today is her day. My mother's favorite spiritual was my living shall not be in vain. Well, today is living proof that her living was not in vain. Amen. And I am just so thankful to you, Mayor, to Keisha, to Miss Valerie, and all that was involved, the City Council, for making this day come to life, for her legacy. And Mayor, I must say, you're making a legacy of your own.
There you go, there you
You
go.
really are, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you for your insight and for your dedication to making African American history and passing all that you have during the months of Black History Month. And this month being Celebrate Women's Month. Hey, it couldn't be better. You couldn't have timed this better. You really couldn't. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and my family's heart. We love it. Thank you.
Man.
I got through it.
Yeah. Okay, who's going to go first? Okay. Okay, yeah.
So we are, let me say first of all that the important thing to know about Vernell was that you heard all the things she did, but she lived a life with purpose. And that purpose was helping people. And when you live your life with the purpose of helping others, your name gets bigger even after you die, which is reflecting today a street sign, a community center, all year here today. And we never forget Vernell for what she did. She was known as the mayor of the projects, but she was a general in the war against poverty. Mike, myself, Mike, and Mike, three Mikes. And Will. We were her lieutenants. And whatever she needed done, we were there to help make sure that it got accomplished. So that's my part for the day. I could go on and on and on, but I know it's hot out here, and I said what I want to say. So thank you.
My name is Mike Rakowski. As Vernell once proclaimed, we've been going around the afternoon. She just looked at me. She says, "You're my white son and I'm your black mom, and that's the way it is." And all of you that knew Vernell Coleman as we did knew that was not the beginning of a conversation. That was a proclamation. And I'm proud to carry that. This woman, coming from Texas, she had not had it easy. She understood what suffering was. But unlike so many people, she understood that she wanted to improve the way of living for herself and her family and her community, but she didn't stop there. She thought she wanted to improve the human condition of all people. Let me just mention 3 quick ways that show you the power that this woman wielded. Number 1, liberty, Juneteenth. It started, in the modern version of it started in this neighborhood, and it grew bigger and bigger every day at Eastlake. Wanted to mention that it ended up having a basketball tournament, a talent show, the showmobile. Don Tarkin had better have that showmobile there every year. But what really made it profound was every penny that came out of that went for scholarships for young people. And that money was dedicated there, and it always was. Number 2, shelter. They talked about the projects and the tenant strike and what she did to reform that. Dr. Jean Blue is here, my boss at the time. We got to work with her on a project. We were able to put all the kids in Matthew Henson to work, cleaning up and taking care of the projects, and it was a labor of love. And look at what that place is now. That is not by mistake. I got to mention for this last one, because this is so profound, I just got to see Abdullah here. And this guy, I tell you what, there's another lieutenant. He was always there when she needed it. But if you can imagine something as simple as understanding that every day people were actually paying to throw food away, at the same time there were people going hungry. It's not complicated, but somehow she took that simple truth with John Van Hengel and she made it a reality here in Phoenix. And as I comment, we have youth ambassadors from all over the world, and when I tell them that the first food bank in the whole world started right here in Phoenix, their jaw drops. And by God, I'm proud, and she did it, you know, and we had no choice. But I hope that all of you that knew her or learned more about her will take the time to explain to some young person how the difference, as the mayor was saying, the difference that one person can make in their life, and tell them about profound issues. These were not small things. And maybe that will give them hope and give a spark to some young person to go out and do something too. God bless Vernell, and God bless all of you. Thanks so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Dean, and I was first introduced to Mother Coleman March of 1972. I started my career with the City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Department right over there. There was an alley. We had the old housing projects. We took one of them and we made it into a recreation center. The upstairs, there were 4 apartments. The upstairs was the office and the storage room. The two bedrooms in the middle, we knocked the walls out and made it a recreation center. And then on the other side was Mama Swain and her library. And I got a call when I first started. I got a call that said, "You need to come see me." And I said, "Who am I speaking to?" She said, "This is Miss Coleman. You need to come see me. Come down." So I went to see her. I walked in her house, and she had food and drinks, and we sat down and we talked. And she said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I want a job. I want to work for the city. I want to do whatever, make a career out of it." She said, "Well, you don't know what you can do unless you try."
Amen.
That was her motto. You don't know what you can do until you try. So one of her loves was James Cleveland. She loved the gospel music of James Cleveland, and as the Juneteenth grew, we added things. We added a gospel jubilee, and we used to hold a gospel jubilee. We started at First Institutional, and then we moved, and we got to a point where we went to Symphony Hall, and who shows up? James Cleveland.
Mercy.
You don't know what you can do until you try.
That's right.
She said, I want James Cleveland here. And James Cleveland came and performed. Mama C was sitting on the front row having a great time. And that's something that I will never forget and I cherish. And it was all because of that little lady that lived right down the alley from Matthew Henson Center. Thank you very much.
It's not a whole lot more to say. I'm Mike Johnson. But, you know, I just want to take a little moment to thank the mayor, thank our councilwoman Keisha for what they did here, because you know what? The history that's being displayed out there is so important, because most people, and a lot of our young people, don't realize how we got to where we are today.
Amen. Amen.
It was because of people like Miss Coleman. You know, if you didn't get an opportunity to sit down and have a meal around Miss Coleman, you didn't have a meal.
Catfish.
But she would make you happy, but it's a really, for me, I'm thrilled because when you look at that sign and you look at the naming of the street of Miss Coleman, you look at the Matthew Henson project, Henson Village, Miss Coleman laid that groundwork for all of that to happen.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about wanting to make people live better, when people lived in the projects and said, why can't we have this? Why can't we have that? Why can't we have these different things? Miss Coleman laid that groundwork.
Yes.
And that groundwork has still been done. So I thank the mayor and I thank Keisha for putting up this history and naming this street after one of our pioneers who really stood out and made it what it is today.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So instead of a countdown, which is the practice, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to count up from 1 to 19 in honor of Vernell. And I'd like to ask the mayor to kick us off. If you could stay where you are so everybody can see. And afterwards, there's going to be an opportunity for photos, so don't leave too quickly. Mayor, please.
All right, so please join me in counting to 19. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
So we would ask anyone who's interested, we are going to safely take a group photo on this side of the street with the Ceremonial Street 9 behind us, and would invite everyone who's interested to come forward.